Hello all, see you again in our 2021's movie collection, The Matrix Resurrection. Alright, before we start the story of this movie, don't forget to subscribe and turn on the notification bell so that you won't miss the updates from our channel. The story starts with Bugs and Sek who explore the model and find Trinity. But the story they see is far different than it should be. Trinity is lost in the hand of her enemies, and Bugs is found and hunted. Another sentient called Morpheus saves her. They both share the same story, that Neo is still alive, and he opens their mind to the new world. Their mission is to find Neo, because other people believe that he's dead. Bugs then gives Morpheus the red pill. In the modal, Morpheus disguises himself as an Agent Smith. And now that he chooses the red pill, he and Bugs are acquaintances. With Sek's help, Morpheus and Bugs are freed from the agent's hunt. Inside an office building, Thomas Anderson, and mostly called by Neo in the modal, is doing his normal life. He finds that his program is breached, and when he's going to find the problem, and also free himself from the Matrix, his friends come into his office. Anderson works for Deus Machina, a game company, and makes a game named The Trilogy. In the game, people will choose between destiny or his free will, and that means he makes what happens in his memory as a game. In the coffee shop, Jude and Anderson meet with Tiffany, or should have been known as Trinity in the modal, who also gets trapped in the normal world. Tiffany lives as a mother of two with a husband named Chad. Jude knows that Anderson is attracted to Tiffany and helps him to get to know her. When they shake hands, Tiffany feels that they might have known each other, but Anderson opposes. They seem to forget everything that happens in the modal. After the meeting with Tiffany, Tom feels something is different. He takes his journey in the modal as an episode of mental illness. And it seems the episode is back. Tom's boss, Smith, says that even when Tom wants the trilogy to end, Warner Bros. Wants them to keep doing it. His therapist believes that this triggers Tom to have another episode. He then gives Tom another round of blue pills to treat his symptoms. So he works on the Matrix 4 while taking blue pills continuously. Then, he tries to have a conversation with Tiffany in the coffee shop. They have a great time and enjoy their coffee cup. Thomas catches Tiff's shadow on the table, but it looks like somebody else. Back in the office, there's an emergency and police evacuate people out. Thomas gets messages for Neo, and while thinking this was Jude's joke, he follows the instruction. Then he meets Morpheus Uno. He tries to give Thomas the red pill, but Thomas starts to doubt his existence. Then the FBI gets in their meeting place, and while Morpheus faces the mob, Thomas goes away. He keeps insisting that it's not real. By this time, his partner, Smith, has also changed to Agent Smith. He points the gun to Thomas's head, and then Thomas finds himself in his therapist's office. The therapist tries to reason with Thomas, and makes him believe that all of what happened before is his own imagination. After that, Thomas goes to the top of his building, drinking and having flashes of Neo's memories. Being intoxicated, he starts to believe that he can fly again. A call from Jude comes, but he ignores it. He stands on the building, getting ready to jump. Then Bugs pulls him down. She says how he wakes her up from the Matrix. Also, Jude is not his friend, but a program to control him. He accepts Jude's calls and asks if he's alone, and there are people with him. Bugs say that they are agents. Machines have used bots that can blend in with people. And that makes it harder for Thomas to choose whom to trust. Bugs says that Thomas has made his modal open, so that people will be able to find Morpheus in him. She then shows her bunny tattoo, and tells him to follow her. They open the door, and go to Tokyo. It's a moving connection that's hard to track. Thomas doesn't remember having done this, and Bugs says that they don't even need to run to booths now. Sek guides them through the connection. Then they get to a theater and meet Morpheus. Bugs explained to him that the robot keeps him alive, but changes his DSI. It makes finding him a hard job. They have taken 60 years to find Thomas with a changed DSI. Morpheus even starts to say that Thomas wants to work with the machines. This makes Thomas take the red pill. When they try to look for a connection and run away, Thomas's therapist appears in front of the mirror. He tries to convince Thomas that those are not real. He tries to pull Thomas in, but Bugs and Morpheus help to pull him out. Then came the agents. They run back to Tokyo, and all passengers have been activated as bots. Thomas is still in a confused state. The red pill is still in the process of waking him up. Sek guides them to the bathroom and gets inside a small mirror there. Thomas then wakes up in a tube, cables are plugged in his body. He also finds Trinity in another tube with the same situation as him. Then, the machine finds out that he's already woken up. They unplug the cables and brought him out of the building. Thomas then sees all places have become the machine's nest. All people are sleeping in their tubes and machines control everything. Then he gets to a place where Bugs and the gang live. The machine who brought him before is in their control. Thomas is beginning to lose his consciousness, and they try to shock him up. Then Thomas gets into a network and finds Morpheus there. Morpheus tries to get Thomas back by fighting with him and making him remember and fight for Trinity. The machines have made Thomas question reality and fantasy. And Morpheus's method has successfully brought him back. When Thomas wakes up, Bugs gets inside the room. Bugs inform him that Oracle has been gone. The machines promise peace for while they give the purge that took Oracle. Bugs says that there is peace because all of Neo and Trinity have done. She introduces him to the proofs and sentience on their side. Thanks to Neo and Trinity, some sentience choose their side now. But because of Octacle's and Cybob's betrayal to free Thomas, they now cannot help Trinity as easily as before. Morpheus then materialized in front of Thomas through exomorphic particles. This makes programs like Morpheus be able to take shape in their world. They then dock in Io, another place like Zion, but better. This place has humans and die, or programs that take shape like what Morpheus did, and they live together in peace. Naya becomes the head of the place. She imprisons Bugs for not abiding by the rules in order to free Neo. She also says to Neo that they cannot free Trinity in exchange for the peace they now have. She then also imprisons Neo. Shepard, the person who Naya orders to take Neo to jail, explains that people start to want freedom now. They just want to be free from war, and that also means they are surrendering to the Matrix. Neo and all of the warriors have become legends, the old days. In the jail, Morpheus meets Thomas. Bugs and the gang take out the Nemesign to break Neo from prison and help him free Trinity. They keep track of the old model and find where Trinity is. They have found her, and they start the mission to save her. On the way, they meet Smith. From Smith, Thomas knows that his enemy is not Smith anymore, but the analyst, the psychiatrist. Smith says they won't be ready for him. Smith brings with him Murray, the old enemies of Neo who should have been exiled. They fight Neo and Bugs cruise together. Smith brings Neo down and gets beaten up so badly. Bugs try to help him. But before she gets to Neo, he has already beaten Smith. His power is increasing. Neo then meets Trinity and talks to her. But then, the analyst appears. He and Trinity are on the same side. The analyst stops the time and calls it bullet time. It makes Neo unable to catch him at all. He has done more than Neo did when he was dead. The idea to rebuild Neo and Trinity comes from him. He says that Neo should come for Trinity since he has no one now but her. Neo will be incomplete without Trinity, and so the analyst lets Neo free while keeping Trinity. Then the police come and Bugs tells Neo to run. But then their connection is unplugged. Shepard comes and says that they should be back to take the punishment or just be there dying. Their place has been surrounded by the squids. They are back again to the Io. Naib has an argument with Bugs, saying that Naib has given up on people and only cares about plants. Then Ascension called Kujaku comes. He wants Neo to meet someone. A woman named Sadi, who once met Neo when she's still a little girl. Her father is someone who built the resurrection pod, where Neo and Trinity were in. Naib is angry because Sadi never tells her that, despite knowing everything. She says sorry, and says that the Matrix should be back to the old version now that Neo is free. But the analyst says that Neo will be back to them voluntarily, since he holds Trinity captured. And that's what Neo chooses to do. Then Naib takes the decision to help Neo to free Trinity. She wants to send her 3 captains as volunteers, but all of them are willing to go. Sadi then explains how they can save Trinity. When Bugs asks her reason to help them, Sadi says that the analyst has killed her parents. And that's enough reason. They will extract Trinity's consciousness to the ship with the help of Sadi and Kujaku. Giving the red pill to Trinity is not a must anymore, since they still don't know if she still wants that. Morpheus and Bugs sneak into the machine's base to free Trinity, while Neo meets the analyst. Neo and the analyst make a deal. If Trinity still wants to be back with Neo, then the analyst should let her go. But if not, then Neo will give the Matrix to him. On Trinity's pod, Sadi has already made the bypass to her connection. If Trinity wants to go back with them, her consciousness will go to them. For that, Sadi, Bugs, and Morpheus have to leave them back and wait for her decision. Neo then talks with Trinity's consciousness. She says that she has played the game and feels like there's her in there. But it's too late now. Trinity's husband and kids come to her, saying that she has to be back to the hospital. Neo respects her decision and lets her go. When Neo gets surrounded by the agents and Sec is going to unplug him, Trinity changes her choice. She fights her husband, which is changed to the bomb, and then calls for Neo. Neo breaks loose from the attack, and the analyst freezes the time. He takes a gun from the agent, and he's going to shoot Trinity. But then Smith comes. He says that when the analyst freezes Neo, Smith can walk freely then. On the pod, Saudi has unplugged Trinity from the pod, with the help of bugs. The analyst knows that something's wrong, commands the sentients on the base to stop the pods from going. But then, Neo and Trinity hold hands. The analyst then starts the swarm mode, where all bots who disguise as humans will be on their bots mode. Neo then gets on Trinity's motorcycle, while Sec and the others are in their car. They fight the bots on the way. Some are even changed into bombs. They jump down from the building to stop Neo, and the gang from running away. They are now in big trouble. Neo even has to hang on his own with Trinity. After blasts of bombs everywhere, Neo and Trinity get into a building to hide. They then go on the higher floor while being chased by the agents. Lexi and Shepard are saved by Morpheus and Bugs. They then get to Neo with Sec's help. On the rooftop of the building, a helicopter welcomes them. It shoots bullets at them. Neo stops the bullets from getting to Trinity, while Trinity guides him to look for cover. But the shots come from every side, and they even release a missile. When Trinity wakes up, she tells Neo that she remembers this. But it ends here. Then Neo holds her hand, and they do the jump. But Neo falls down, while Trinity floats up. She then takes Neo away. Sec then unplugs Neo's and Trinity's connection, and then they hug. Fast forward, Trinity comes to the analyst. She asks about the activation of the fail-safe. The analyst says that the suit tries to do it, and then it fails. He thinks that they come to make a negotiation. Because it's impossible for people to want freedom, they love to be under his control. But he's wrong. Neo and Trinity are going to remake the Matrix. What the analyst has done to them makes them believe that there's a second chance for them. And that is the end of the Matrix Resurrection movie. Don't forget to like, subscribe and turn on the notification bell to keep the updates from our channel. See you in the other movie story and bye.